talking about different concepts, we always have to consider the national context. For example, Anglo-American context or South European context or Nordic context, all these contexts are very different ones. And for example, in Estonia, it's very hard to explain teachers that somebody outside come to observe your lessons and give feedback. I'm talking about inspectors, for example. It's quite impossible to introduce inspectorate in Estonia and to say that somebody is smart giving you advice. So this is something everybody should consider, working out different kind of new initiatives or reforms in your country. So about the workshop, I'm trying to be interactive as possible, and we have like 3 topics to cover. First, mentoring in induction program, when what is the role of a mentor, and then mentor preparation and training. I'm briefly introduce our idea just to repeat yesterday's message. But mentoring in Estonia means to support given by one person for growth and learning of another. And usually we are talking that this is something we offer to support newcomers in organization to adjust or to socialize in organization and also to grow as a person or professional. So, and at the moment I am talking about mentoring offered inside of a school, because yesterday I introduced one-to-one mentoring and peer group mentoring. And now let's focus on that mentoring, what is going on in schools, and this is one-to-one mentoring. And who is good mentor, or what is good mentoring? We have characterized this that way, that first, good mentor helps to become a member of a teachers community. So this is this socialization or accommodation part of mentors' work. Then to support and inspires novice teachers to develop professional competencies, and then helps the new teacher to become a reflective practitioner. So mainly, yes, these 2 parts, socialization and developing competencies, these are very, very welcomed in Estonia. And also mentors have showed quite high competencies in that, but actually quite difficult to help new teachers to become a reflective practitioner, because this is not only mentor's task, but already newly qualified teachers, beginning teachers themselves, should have this attitude to learn from your own practice, and it comes from initial education. So actually we have to think about teachers' preparation very rare thing, I think, because if we like to implement continuing professional development approach, that means that we can't prepare teachers for every case at school, and we have to know that actually many competencies can be developed in practice, starting work as full-time teachers. We have to develop the attitude that you have to learn throughout your career. So this is actually very, very complicated task for initial teacher educators. So this is quite humanistic approach. And if you read the literature about mentoring, you can find several kind of concepts and approaches. But as we are quite close to Nordic countries, and you can imagine that Nordic people are quite slow and would like to think a lot before they act. So we really need time to reflect our own thoughts and create our like a personal theory on or personal approach to different kind of things. And I would like you now to think about your concepts of mentoring, and please just think a few minutes and please try to list at least 5 activities mentors should do in your opinion, in your context, in Bulgarian schools. And please write these down, and then we have some possibility to talk with your with neighbors and find out, are these quite same activities what we are implementing in Estonia, or you should find some new ones or another aspects. Please think about activities mentors should do in your opinion. In English?
I don't have the 5, but I can start with the first one. I think he or she should know what are the needs and what are the capacities of the novice teachers.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Понеже съм българист, ще задам на български. Първо...
Wait a bit.
Изключително съм доволна от изложението, което вчера вие направихте. Признавам, че съм впечатлена, понеже се занимавам с методика на обучението по български език и се изкушавам да взема думата за това, че наставници, както тук добре преводачката използва думата, или ментори, съгласна съм с вас, че си струва да се дискутира за термина, дали е коучинг или е менторинг и така нататък. Но това, което ние правим в училище, то общо взето е свързано с методически анализ на наблюдаван урок, чужд или собствен урок, с рефлексия. Как тая рефлексия подпомага младия учител, той да придобие опитност да преподава, обратна връзка за постиженията на младия учител и не на последно място подкрепа как да решава проблеми, които изникват. И се изкушавам да кажа типични проблеми за стажанта и младия учител, как той да премине от академичния език, на който е свикнал да общува с университетския преподавател, към научно-учебен език с ученик. Общо взето това са активностите и обикновено правим педагогическо портфолио, в което проследяваме този напредък на стажанта-учител, но тази ваша идея за въвеждащата програма, аз ще се опитам да я прокарам. Много ми хареса, защото това е грижа по-нататък в училище да израства младия учител. Имахме такъв един статут назад. Аз самата съм била млад специалист и той беше така предмет на специално внимание, грижа и включително институционално. Но просто използвам случая да изразя моето професионално удовлетворение от вашето участие и ще бъда благодарна да науча още. Благодаря.
Thank you. So I hope that almost everybody listed at least some activities mentors should do. So we heard that first, mentors should realize what are the needs of a beginning teacher or another teacher. So what else could be the tasks of a mentor. Please share your opinions.
Здравейте. Мисля, че едно от нещата би било и той да бъде съюзник на учителите, които подпомага. Това ми се струва смислено.
Като начало за един новопостъпил учител в каквато и да е среда, детска градина, училище, висше учебно заведение, наставника най-напред смятам, че първо трябва да го запознае с екипа от предметната област, хората, с които най-пряко ще общува чисто професионално. След което вие казахте за индивидуално менторство и група в група. Ето тук вече още от самото начало може да се получи и менторството в група, ако правилно съм го разбрала. Другото, което за наставника от личния ми опит, въпреки че ние не го прилагаме в този смисъл, в който вече при вас е като програма, но постъпилият учител има необходимост да бъде запознат с средата, в която ще работи. Чисто състав, ученически, родителски, капацитет. Това е някакъв старт, който може да подготви младия учител или някой, който се връща в професията след много години, как нещата са се променили или какви са неговите представи за средата. И всъщност, според мен, това е най-важното, за да не изпадне новия човек в стреса, който го неизбежен.
Yeah, thank you very much. You pointed out very important issue, and I would like to make an example. For example, graduates from Sofia University moves to some rural area to work at school, and this is very important to get some kind of support to socialize there and to understand the local customs, so to say. So thank you very much. What else you would like to highlight or to point out?
Може би на малко по-практично ниво, но когато бях новопостъпил учител преди 2 години, бих била много благодарна, ако някой ме беше въвел в цялата документация на училището. Аз бях класен ръководител за първа година, бележници, дневници, какво, как, това беше голяма мистерия.
Thank you. And actually, when we started like 10 years ago or even more, this was something which was pointed out by novice teachers, that all this documentation, and actually experienced teachers and heads of a school actually somehow think that teachers should know this starting to work. But if you have had practice during your initial education, usually nobody gives you this task, or they don't allow you to fulfill actually documentation. So this is something very important also to support to work in organization, to know how things are done in certain organization, because this can be done very differently. Yeah, something else?
Аз бих искала да добавя 2 неща. Едното, може би се припокрива, вече беше казано, така наречените неписани правила в училище и в общността също. Тези, които няма как да разбереш, докато не ти се случат. И другото, може би, е всъщност какво предстои в следващата учебна година. Чисто като план, като активности, като събития дори. Според мен също би било много полезно.
Yeah, and also very small things. For example, this is my cup, don't touch this, or this is my seat, don't sit here. It could happen also. So, yeah, so many techniques. What do we actually describe, what kind of roles in very humanistic ways mentors should carry? First is to be a model. Because in our case, we really support the idea that not only novice teachers' lessons should be observed and feedbacked, but also novice teachers should visit mentor's lesson and analyze how mentor works, and this is somehow equal relation and they both can benefit from that. So this is something what is quite important also. And we talked quite a lot about introducing local culture. So this is very important also, so to say, a contact maker. I guess you understand what does it mean. If, especially in bigger organization, and it's very important that somebody somehow introduce you to another colleagues and helping make bridges or contacts. And yeah, so just to be there. This is very important, and I guess that all professions, actually, not only teachers who work with other people, need some time, some place, somebody just to reflect and to share mainly feelings, because teacher's profession is very emotional, and I guess that it's here in Bulgaria same, that it's quite isolated profession, and you are alone in a classroom and you have to make very important decisions every day, and you just need to reflect and sometimes to reflect just emotions. And yeah, the facilitator. But something is missing here. Could you imagine what is actually missing here? And purposefully, of course. Please.
Струва ми се, че липсва това да преподават едно и също нещо, да бъдат специалисти в една и съща област.
Фидбек.
Yeah, but actually, we think that that mentor shouldn't be the teacher of the same subject, because because when the focus goes to teaching, and you somehow miss this, that actually you don't teach another teacher, because this is very like equal relation, and you have to focus on pedagogical issues more and to support this socialization I have highlighted already many times. And and I would like to continue from that point, that what is missing is, so to say, teaching. That you don't teach another teacher. You support to develop his or her professional competencies. But I guess that it comes very easily, that if you are already teacher, you would like to say to another, do this, do that, but it doesn't work. You have to understand that this is important for you, and you have to find your own concept, your own style of the teaching. So, it could be difficult to understand in some context, because in systems where inspectorate is very common and outside evaluation is implemented many years, I guess this approach change is very difficult, and maybe it's not even needed. You have to think about the problems in your system and to create your concept of mentoring. But I'm just sharing our understanding of mentoring, and because in our system we really want teachers to collaborate a lot, as we heard from Ed's presentation today also, that they really create time and place for common work for teachers, and this is somehow very important aim in our educational system also. And yeah, and somehow summarizing the tasks of a mentor during induction program is developing professional relationship first, because from a good relationship starts good mentoring. And I guess that yesterday somehow it was touched that sometimes this mentoring relation doesn't work, and headmaster or novice teacher herself or himself should start the negotiation to have a new mentor sometimes, because this relationship is really, really important. And of course, everything starts from planning, setting professional goals, for example. It somehow means that we have to discuss with you what's your aim and what would you like to achieve, and according your goals, we are setting certain aims, and we are trying to work together to achieve these aims. And planning is a very important part of teachers' work. So, and this is very difficult for beginning teachers also, to plan lessons, to have bigger units of a subject, for example, to plan how to evaluate students, to plan how to work with parents, and several other things. So this is something mentors should help to do. Observing, giving feedback, and supporting reflection and self-analysis. So these are like main tasks of a mentor. And as I mentioned, that in our concept, mentoring is very humanistic activity, and for that, person should have certain personal characteristics, and we have only one demand to become a mentor, and this is that the mentor should have at least 3 years of experience. And not more, because sometimes there are understanding that mentors should be really experienced. But actually, this is not the point. The point is that you have certain personal characteristics to become a mentor, to support other person professional development. And sorry, that way. My task for you is to think about yourself first, and please think what kind of personal characteristics you have to become a good mentor. Just list few of them. I guess that you have a lot of them, but just please list few of your personal characteristics which support you to become a good mentor. Okay, I think that teachers and teacher educators and other people who work in educational system should think very fast and act very fast. So just compare your list with my list. How much you see the connection with my list? So any comments? What is surprising for you, or maybe you have some good ideas of what is actually missing here in my list? Please try to surprise me.
Аз ще се опитам. Когато работя с моите студенти и с млади учители, се опитвам да им внуша, че си струва да бъдеш откривател. Защото когато си откривател на умения на учениците, на това те да изявят себе си, на собствените личности и изпитваш удовлетворение. Признавам, че една голяма част от това, което вие сте изброили на слайда, съвпада, особено по отношение на позитивно мислене, подкрепата и да така усещат, че това, което правят, има стойност, има значение, за да може да не се чувстват като новаци. Има нещо прекрасно в това човек да е новак, защото открива нещата и в такъв смисъл правя тая връзка с откривателството. И разбира се, иска ми се да обичат български език и да обичат да преподават български език и езици изобщо.
Okay, thank you. And this is somehow connected with this openness, maybe to try out new things and to be creative. Thank you.
Бих добавила само, може би, ако искам от учителите да умеят да планират и да организират времето си, да планират годината, ментора също трябва да може да е доста добър в това нещо. Тоест да държи голямата картина за това къде учителя иска да заведе децата си. И същото, може би това е към openness, да е добър слушател, но не да слуша, само да приема информацията, ами да се опитва да търси за това, което учителя му казва.
Okay. Thank you.
Аз искам да попитам, умишлено ли комуникативните умения сте ги сложили най-накрая? Защото ако един ментор не притежава такива умения, би ли могъл да бъде той ментор?
Actually, maybe these are not listed by the importance, but just listed and important as qualities are listed, and you have to like find out which are maybe most important are in your context. One more comment.
Вчера, докато слушах, мисля, че вие казахте при вас в Естония, че това се случва, директора определя менторите на учителите или нещо не съм разбрала. Защо директора ще е този човек, който да определя ментора на учителите? Не е ли по-добре учителите, попадайки в новата среда, да имат някаква възможност да се ориентират от хората около тях? Според точно нагласата на характера, може би, ако характера, който не съвпадащите характери, т.е. ние ще поставим учителя в още по-стресова ситуация, когато аз определя ментора на този учител и те не съвпаднат. Тогава самото отношение към ментора вече ще е различно и ще тръгнем да правим корекция на менторството в последствие. И другото нещо, ако ментор е този човек, който може да предразположи учителя, освен с професионалните си качества, той да, примерно една месечна среща в неформална среда, да се коментират неща, които житейските дори характерните особености на всеки един човек в случая. И последното нещо, което исках да кажа по този повод е качествата, може би откровеността на ментора, да поставим и това не на последно място. Според мен да бъдеш искрен, да бъдеш откровен с един човек, не винаги означава нещо лошо или нещо непозитивно. Благодаря.
Okay, thank you. And first, I would respond to the question that why principal is responsible for appointing mentor. And this comes again the Estonian context that the schools are very autonomous. Leaders of the schools are responsible for teachers' professional development. They have to take care of best way supporting finding possibilities to support teachers. And also principal should know who is good mentor, and of course taking into account that personal characteristics are very important to have a good relation. There are of course cases that mentor can be changed, and it can be agreed also in the beginning that yes, this is your mentor now, but during the Christmas, for example, you can choose your mentor yourself in organization. So this is this is possible to organize that way, but it comes from our context where principals and senior management has very, very important role at school. So I would like to go on with mentor education, as I promised, that although some of these characteristics are very personal characteristics, still there are some competencies which can be developed and actually we found that this is very, very important to have good mentor education, and even we offer, so to say, continuing education for mentors. So this is basic education we offer. First, this is like 8 days training, and it means that it goes throughout 1 year, because between there are some individual tasks. They can observe other teachers' lessons, they can analyze themselves and so on. And this is financed by the Ministry of Education, and this is only support for mentors in Estonia. So for mentoring work, they don't get extra salary, because this is part of the teacher's workload. Because in Estonia, the system is that the teachers have to have a certain amount of lessons, but additionally, they have to participate in school development activities, and one of these activities can be mentoring also. And learning methods, as it's highlighted here, are very interactive, and mentors should develop certain skills, and as it was pointed out here that the communication skills, for example, are very important. So they are really making role plays and some kind of video analyzing, just analyzing how they act in certain communication discussions. And some topics. First, they have to know what is the purpose of an induction program. They have to know what kind of problems beginning teachers face. For example, here we highlighted how to manage with documentations, or how to behave in certain cultures, so on. And then about adult learning theories, they are in that relation somehow like andragogues or adult teachers, so to say. And they have to know how to give feedback, how to support reflection. So, and these are really skills you can develop. For example, asking open questions, not, so to say, closed questions, yes or no questions. And now I would like to try one task or activity we are doing in our mentor education. And I hope that you have a neighbor, or you can work in pairs. Can you? Please, could you find a mate to work together? Make pairs, please. And this is very interesting task. So could you make pairs, please? So, and the task is that one of you is a caterpillar and one of you is butterfly. So please decide who is who. And I promise both roles are very exciting. So could you find a neighbor for you also who is alone? No? Nobody? Please, maybe you can work free together. You can be an observer, maybe. So now the task is that butterfly tries to convince caterpillar to become a butterfly. Please try it. Try hard. Try hard to convince that it's very good to be a butterfly, and caterpillar still thinks that it's really good to be a caterpillar. So this is a task, and you have like 5 minutes to convince caterpillar to become a butterfly. So please try.
Some challenges in front of the argumentation of the butterfly, or we just should listen to the argument?
Yeah, you have to argument just. You have to argue why it's good to be a butterfly, please. Yeah.
And
yeah.
That's it.
And that's it at the moment.
We just listen. No counter arguments.
No counter arguments, of course.
Also.
Yeah.
And then shall we try to persuade the butterfly to become?
No, why not? No. You can't.
I did.
You did, okay. So, thank you. And now, please raise hands who were the caterpillar. Caterpillars, please raise your hands. And now, please raise a hand who were convinced to become a butterfly. The caterpillar who were convinced to become a butterfly. Okay, so good job. But now let's compare this conversation with mentoring. What kind of evidences you find here that are very useful to consider when you are in mentoring relation, and for example, if one is like more experienced, like a butterfly, knowing already what is coming next after being a caterpillar. And the caterpillar still, I guess, felt very comfortable to be a caterpillar. So why you decided to change your role and to become a butterfly, for example? Why? What kind of arguments helped you to decide to become a butterfly?
Сега, аз всъщност се оказах една много упорита гасеница и така и не се предадах, но аргументите на колежката бяха основно в посока това, че тя ми даваше възможност да видя нещата в перспектива. И според мен това трябва да направи един ментор, т.е. да даде възможност на младия учител да види нещата така, както биха могли да бъдат. Това е.
Wonderful summary, so to say. You somehow explained that mentors should show the perspectives, new options, new possibilities. Excellent, thank you. What else? Yeah.
И аз бях от упоритите гасеници, макар че всъщност винаги бих искала да бъда пеперуда. И моята опит на пеперуда, това, което ме убеди, всъщност беше това, че тя ме накара да вярвам, че с търпение трансформацията ще се получи. На всичките ми нета тя казваше някакво да. На невярата, че ще ми пораснат крила, на страха, че е опасно.
Okay, so mentors should keep down fears. This is very important. Even if you see that the novice teacher, I mean, see many like obstacles or some fears to change something in teaching, for example. So mentors should help to get some kind of secure or to feel that I'll manage. So I guess that this was excellent. Again, thank you. Here you wanted to, please.
Благодаря. Това трудно се съгласих, наистина, но поради опита, който имаме и двамата, приех аргументите на пеперудата с това, че ми даде възможност да видя свобода, простор, възможност за мобилност, мотивираме по този начин да търся и аз да правя по-дългосрочни цели, за да мога да разположа във времето тази свобода и да имам възможността да се реализирам. Може би този по-дълъг период на време ще е необходим за трансформацията ми, личната от гасеница в пеперуда, но не толкова багрите и красотата, колкото тази възможност наистина свободно и мобилно да избирам. Тоест даде ми шанс и право на избор.
So thank you, and I really would like to emphasize here that mentors can't push too much also. They have to somehow realize what is possible and what is not so difficult to achieve, or what are the steps to go to a certain goal. Yeah, thank you. Anything else?
Според мен ставаше въпрос много и за доверие, за това, защото когато аз убеждавах гъсеницата, че ако има крила, ще може да лети и да види нови светове, и небето, и планината, и морето, тя ме пита ми какво е морето, аз не знам какво е морето. Тоест, в много случаи, може би, така, човека, който бива менторстван, той не знае каква е реалността, такава каквато му е представя ментора, и трябва да се изгради това доверие, за да може той да повярва в това, въпреки че не го е виждал.
Thank you. This was a very good point also. And have you seen these kind of chairs for adult people that you can somehow see the world from eyes with child eyes? Have you tried these kind of chairs? These are very big ones. You have to sit on that chair and you see the world as a child actually sees the world. So this is something what you actually highlighted, that sometimes we are trying to convince other people to do things what they actually don't realize what does it mean actually and how does it look like and so on. So yeah, this is something I am doing here in Bulgaria also, that I am trying to explain our system to you, but I don't have any ideas actually how do you see, like from your perspective, our system. So I haven't been in your system, so it's very difficult to say that yes, do that or try to implement our system. So it doesn't work. So just we can reflect and to see different kind of options. What are the possibilities? And anyway, we see the world through our eyes, and we have to make our own decisions. And same relies on novice teachers or all teachers. But yesterday we had a lot of discussions how to change teaching approach in Bulgarian schools. But we can't say any teacher that do that or do this without this understanding what actually these teachers thinking about, or what is theory or attitudes underneath. And just maybe to conclude what we have experienced implementing mentoring, and as you understood, we have done it already for 10 years. So most is that mentor education or preparation is very, very important. And this is not short-term training. It's not 1 day or 2 day training. It's something you have to do for a longer time, and you have to give further mentors time to reflect and practice certain competencies. And also we have seen that the mentors can be very well used in general for school development. So if you have already prepared or educated mentors at school, you can make, so to say, mentor pairs, and you can use it for other teachers also. It doesn't mean that you have to have only beginning teacher and mentor, but there can be experienced teachers together as a mentor pair. And we have to see that there are changes in and different kind of trends in mentoring and mentor's role. Although we have implemented it already 10 years, I guess the concept has changed already, because when we started, the situation at schools were different than it's now in nowadays. So we have to work with and monitoring the process all the time. And I already somehow mentioned that experienced teachers can make mentor peers, but mentors themselves need support also, and we offer continuing education for mentors, and we organize so to say mentors camps sometimes during the summertime or during the school holidays, because I would say that actually mentors' role is quite tough also, because you are working with other teachers, and you can feel that actually there are a lot of emotions again, as in human relations always, and you just need to somehow to load your batteries also. And finally, I would make some humanistic quotes for mentoring, and this is very much connected with this activity to convince caterpillar to become a butterfly, that we were given 2 years and 1 month, and that we may listen more and speak less. So I don't know what you experienced in that exercise, but usually it could happen very easily that butterflies are talking and talking, and they don't listen what actually caterpillars respond and what kind of fears they have. And also you can't teach anybody anything, you can only help them to learn. And I think that this relies also for students, not only adult people, not only for teachers, and same relies on family life, so please think about that. And we learn by speaking. This is the old saying, I guess, that you will learn teaching a lot, because explaining other people your thoughts, your understandings, these thoughts become much more clear to yourself also. So, and in that sense, it means that you should give a novice teacher to explain his or her thoughts, not opposite. But of course, mentors should explain his or her thoughts also. But just referring back to first quote, that we have 2 years and 1 month. So just let's listen what other people talk to us. What actually the problems of beginning teachers and their needs. So this is my message to you, and I hope that you got at least one idea, because you know it's very difficult to get new ideas, because almost all new ideas are old ones, but they are just coming back again and again. And I really hope that you can somehow work in your organization, at the universities, or in teacher education institutions, or in your schools, or in your Teach for Bulgaria organization, how just to support others' professional development, and especially how to help novices or beginning teachers. So thank you, and maybe we have some questions. I don't know what time is. Actually, time is over, but I don't know. What do you think? Could we have a few questions? Couple minutes we have, so please.
Hi. What I haven't seen, or maybe it is in there somewhere, if you consider the personal development component, if tutors are taught or they are trained to take care of this as well, because usually the personal life or whatever you do on personal level reflects on the professional one, and is very important. Yeah, I was thinking about this. I mean,
yeah, somehow it's hidden here, but you pointed out very important issue. For example, during implementing induction, we have researched this process quite a lot. And for example, we have researched novice teachers' self-efficacy beliefs, how these actually influence their practice in classroom, for example, and not so much personal life, because we are trying to keep these two separate. I mean that talking about mentoring, this relies on professional activity, but for example, talking about supervision, what we actually can't talk in Estonia, because supervision is something psychologists can do, and they can supervise personal life also, but it means that you have to have a certain certificate. So because we don't touch personal life, but we are dealing with certain personal characteristics which can help to manage better in teaching. Thank you.
We talked a lot about the mentor side, what they should do, and I feel that we assume that the other side is willing to. So I was a caterpillar that was not willing to become a butterfly. So did you have any problems from that side, that the young teachers did not want to develop, and what did you do?
Yeah, very, very good point. And as I yesterday tried actually at least explain that it starts from initial education, how novice teachers are ready to reflect and to analyze that they are developing their competencies during first year of teaching, and they have to have this attitude to be open for feedback, for example, to analyze her or his work, and also to analyze our teachers' work and give feedback. So, yeah, this is so to say two-way traffic, and it was quite funny when I started to work with this project. It was 2000, I guess. In my picture, actually, novice teacher missed. So I saw the role of a headmaster, I saw the role of a mentor, I saw the role of a teacher education institutions, but I forgot beginning teacher. So somehow I thought that everything should be done for her or his. But actually it comes, or it starts very much how actually novice teachers act in that situation. So yeah, this is very important.
Аз имам следния въпрос. Предполагам, имате и система за годишно оценяване на представянето на новите учители. Доколко мнението на ментора или пък човек, който оценява представянето на новия учител, се допитва до неговия ментор?
The system is on school level, so actually we don't assess novice teachers. This is mainly their self-reflection. But at the end of a first school year, a mentor and novice teacher together somehow make a report to heads of a school, how this first year was and what were the main activities they did, and what are the main tasks for next year to improve the professional skills of a novice teacher. So this is the only one. So mainly I would say that this is very much based on self-analysis. So thank you again, and it was very Nordic workshop, so very calm, and I hope that you really got some ideas, and of course during the break we can continue our discussions if you have any questions for me. So thank you very much, and you are welcome to Estonia.
Да, и само още едно съобщенице. Да напомня, след въпросната почивка Стивен Фарси продължава с втората сесия горе, но вместо само една се разделяме на две сесии още. Нели Колева ще направи една сесия тук за наблюденията в класните стаи, а на втория етаж в зала Рила ще се състои на сесията за въвеждане на нови учители в професията на Юлията Сава. Да.
Excuse me. I have some brochures about the induction program in Estonia in English.